Hey, thanks again for joining me on the Fast Lane Podcast for Success. I'm your host, Derek Lane, and glad you could tune in this week for another episode. Hey, listen, let's talk about some different things this week. Let's talk about what your time is worth. Let's talk about your value. Let's talk about your experience. Let's kind of put some central emphasis around you and your life to this point, where it's at, where it's going, what it means to others, what it means to yourself. So let's just delve into it. You know, what is your value? What are the things that you value in life? Are you always trying to make things better? Well, I think we all are to a degree. However, there are some people that devalue certain aspects of their life, devalue certain aspects of other people's lives, whether it's to make themselves feel better about certain shortcomings that, oh yeah, you know, and we can knock on somebody, we can hammer them down and go, yeah, look, see, you know, you're no better than I am. Well, that's not the problem, and that's what we have to get through. The problem is that we're missing something inside of ourselves, psychologically, emotionally, whatever it is, that we're missing it. So we're justifying it by pointing out other people's faults. That, my friends, is not healthy. We don't do that. On our path to success, we assist people. Even if you're assisting someone and it propels that person's life, in your eyes, further along than your own success pattern, that's okay, because people will remember that and they help you. They will put their hands together and cup their hands and give you a step up and lift you up and help you, because they remember how much it meant for you to help them. So that's my point, is that we're all in this together. There is no reason to devalue yourself. So, a quick question here, and think about this. Most people appreciate things around them and other people. So, let's say that a famous museum suddenly caught fire, and you had an opportunity to save a lot of valuable artwork, priceless artwork. And there was an old hobo or bum that made his way into the museum and was passed out, and maybe from the smoke or what have you. And you had a choice to make. You can save some priceless art, or you can save the bum. Now, the bum's life to this point has not much value, or in some people's eyes, that bum's life doesn't. They've not contributed positively so as to our society. But the art stands the test of time, and the art brings value to hundreds of thousands of people. What do you save? Which one do you go for? Well, I'm not going to answer it for you. You have to answer it for yourself. But I want you to think about it. Think about ways that we can better ourselves. We can better our community and our society around all aspects of our life. So that's just kind of a cognitive test for yourself, if you will. But what is your experience in life worth as well? What is everything that you've done up to this point, everything that is about you, what is it worth? Can you put a dollar amount on it? I mean, maybe you can, maybe you can't. You know, it's been said that it's not what you do, is what you know. You know, there's an old parable about the man that had a squeaky floor, and he hired a carpenter to come in and fix the squeaky floor. And the carpenter looked around for a few minutes, and he pulled out a nail and a hammer, and he plunged the nail right into a spot in the floor, and voila, the squeaky floor was gone. The guy says, well, gee, I could have done that. The carpenter says, well, why didn't you? Well, I didn't know where to look. Yeah. See, it's our knowledge. It's our experience. That's what you pay for. And that's what gives you value, is your knowledge and your experience. So, do you have valuable knowledge that other people need? Do you have experience that people can utilize? Well, I hope so. I hope so, because that's what we do in life. We hone our skills, whether it's physically or whether it's mentally. We're always honing our skills, and we're always valuing our time. You know, it's been said, McDonald's workers, they want a certain amount of money. Well, is that what the market rate is for that? There's a deeper underlying question, and it's people's value. So I would implore that you hone your craft, you hone your skills, and you make your craft invaluable. In other words, the things that you can do, only a few people right now can do it. So you're more in demand, supply, demand. You get that? Okay. So your experience has a worth to it. Your time has a worth to it. And your overall value, is it going up? Is it going down? Are you doing things to propel yourself and to make your own personal services corporation worth more or less? So in other words, is your knowledge above par? Are you doing the things that you need to do in order to create a better wealth structure for yourself, a better economic outlook for your future? So going into that, I would say that we have to sometimes understand where we are, who we are, what we know, and do a complete evaluation. Because we can't take advantage of our experience if we're really not sure what it is. If we're not really sure of our value, we're less likely to utilize it to our advantage. So make sure that you understand your value, you understand your time, and then make sure other people understand it too, and they see the value in you. They see the value in your experience and your worth. So sometimes we have to change the way that we think, not only just about ourselves, but in regards to creating and understanding wealth development. You got to understand and kind of change the way you think about money and wealth and affluence. You have to redirect your thinking. And that's why I've always said, read books that pertain to your thought pattern. Where do you want to go? What is it that you really want? See, most people can't even define that. Most people can't even, if you ask somebody, what do you really want? They start rambling on about different things. Well, I want a kayak and a motorcycle. No. What do you want? When you look at your life as a whole, when you look at your journey as a whole, what is it that you're achieving? Where do you want to go? Make sure that you have strong relationships. Well, that would be one for me. Make sure that we achieve financial independence. It's another one for me. To make sure that we have freedom, that's probably top of my list. Freedom means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. So define what it means for you. Come and go as you please. See, some people want to take and try to shortcut it. Well, I'll just do nothing right now. I got it made, Maybe I'm living off my parents. Maybe I'm living off the government. Maybe I'm living off friends or what have you. That's not good enough. You're not free until you make your own way. You're not free until you achieve the certain things in your own desired path. That's freedom, and you've created it. And along the way, voila, you've created wealth, you've created your worth, you've created your value, your experiences. So nobody can take that away from you. When you create things that no one can take away from you, if you've gone to school and you've earned a degree, nobody can take that away from you. If you've created knowledge in a certain field, a certain work-related field, and your acumen in that relation, it cannot be taken away. So you have to own it. You have to own you, and you have to develop it and continue to develop it. And people will gladly pay you for it, for what you know. See, I don't know everything. Don't pretend to know everything. I couldn't tell you how to put a jet engine together. I don't know. But if I had a jet, I don't have a jet, by the way. If I had a jet and I needed somebody to work on the engine, I wouldn't just open the supposed hood of this jet. I would call somebody that's an expert, that has the experience, that has the acumen for working on jet engines. I would call that person, and I would pay them for their time, and I would pay them for their value and their worth and their experience. But when it comes time for me to provide worth and value and experience to that person, I would expect them to do the same thing, to reciprocate, a fair compensation for my time and my value. And that's what makes the world go round. And that's what puts you on your path, is that you've developed this, you understand it, and you move forward with it, and it's who you are. So you got to think about how you're going to get there. And once you get there, what are you going to do? I mean, is there a end of the road sign on your path? No outlet? I hope not. I hope that the road that you're on is full of wondrous opportunities, and that leads to more and more and more opportunities. Because once you're on that road and you start to understand certain things, it opens up new vistas for you to understand and to dive into other areas of interest and things that would make your life easier. Whether it's physically, emotionally, intellectually, whatever that value is, and you start to explore those options and you start to understand more and more and more. So you become more fulfilled in each of those areas. And then once you do that, the more and more freedom that you garner. And again, that's what we're out here doing. We're out here creating freedom in our lives. And that's ultimate happiness, ultimate bliss. Some person can take and look at, a rainy, nasty day and just feel down. Some people can look at a rainy, nasty day and have a smile. It's your choosing, because there is value in the rain. Maybe we haven't had any in a while, and now you're like, whew, thank goodness. Thank goodness. Now, my lawn, my garden, my flowers, they get the rain they so desperately need it, and now that brings a smile to your face. So you get it. Not everything that is potentially a downer is always a downer. And maybe you go, well, I didn't need it today. Well, unless you can control the weather, I don't know what to tell you about that. But it's your choice. You can control you. You can control your emotions, your state of mind. You can control your thought pattern.